Hello YouTube, Wise FIFA here, coming at you today with the start of a new career mode we're going to do. I was looking at the teams going through here. I looked at Werder Bremen, my favorite team, and maybe Empoli, but then we settled on the team that I love the most in the Serie A, Fiorentina. And so we're going to play on Legendary. You see me here mess up in these seeds. You know that you always just, if you click the start button, you find that if you reseed the seeds, you get the right ones, and so that's what I did. And you'll see we're in the Europa League. We're playing on Legendary 4-minute halves. Gonna be Mr. Wise from the United States. Gotta rep the home country. Gonna be just leaving it neutral skin color. But here, I was debating whether to accept the tournament invite or not, and honestly, I don't like playing the preseason games in my first season. So I'm going to decline the invitation. I know I'm going to miss out on some money, but I already used that 60% boost, so I felt like I didn't need any more, and we're going to get into the career mode. And so honestly, I do a lot of work before I advance here when I usually do career modes. I do career modes a lot. They're one of my favorite parts of FIFA. I've done them since FIFA 10. I really enjoy finding new young players, and I'm going to keep this series a little bit realistic in terms of the transfers. Try to keep a lot of the transfers realistic to what Fiorentina signed in the short term, but then in the long term, I'm going to try to get some really solid players and the best players because we're going to need to compete in the Champions League, which is the goal. So the goal of this career mode is to, one, either win the Serie A or finish in the Champions League spot and also make a nice run in the Europa League, but also after that, hopefully the next season we can win the Europa League. Win the Champions League, my bad. I'm going to try to keep my career modes just to like 2 seasons and try to win the Champions League as fast as I can, 2 to 3 seasons, you never know. But I want to keep them quick, especially at the end of FIFA 16, because during FIFA 17 I'll do one where it might be a much longer road to glory career mode where I'm thinking about starting at my local club, the Chicago Fire, and working my way up through the seasons to try to get a managerial job in Europe and so forth. But for this one, you can see I got the short list of the players that I'm looking at. You can see some of them on the screen. I'll scroll through them in a second. But that Tonelli card, not Tonelli card, I'm thinking Ultimate Team, sorry boys. But that Tonelli is a player I really want. I'm looking at Poli and Cigarini, and then Kaputska looks like a serious young Polish talent. And then I got some further off transfer targets such as that Nicolo Sansone and Berardi. I'm looking at those guys, they look really good. And then we're just going to go through training here. Training Babacar, a nice young Cameroonian talent. Or Senegal, my bad, he's from Senegal. And you'll see later what ends up happening with him, but we get the training in here. Bernardeschi's our big man for the future. He scored a beautiful goal, even though it took a slight deflection against Tottenham in the Europa League this year. If you want to go check that out on YouTube, I'm sure you can find the link. But we're just going to get a couple other people in there. We're going to get the backup goalie also. And then I want my midfielders, because I'm playing that 3-4-2-1 that you saw. I want my midfielders to be able to defend very well. And there's a lot of decent defenders in my midfield, like Borja, Valero, and Vecino. But I want to make sure that they can stick and grind out in that midfield when it's just the two of them. And then you see here we go ahead and put a bid down for Tonelli. Gonna not spoil anything, but it's gonna take a couple more bids than that. And we move on. We put a bid down for Cigarini. And I like to make a lot of bids out at the original, especially with players that you've seen their transfer values. And I've done a career mode with Fiorentina in the past, so I kind of know roughly what the players would go for. And if you ever want me to break down or have any questions about career mode and want a little insight, just leave it in the comments below. I'm always open to hearing that, and I'm really excited to start this new career mode with you guys. If you have any suggestions on who to sign, I'm going to let you guys know that I'm already done with this summer transfer window, though, so we'll look at these players in January. And I'm really excited to get a mix of young talent and then just also real-life players that are a little bit experienced. You see, we get this Rugani here because I was a little worried that Tonelli wouldn't sign for me after he rejected that bid. But he's a really solid player, maybe one we look at for the future, considering that our backline's getting a little old. We go ahead and put in a bid for Poli. I always liked him, and hopefully he can actually in real life start picking it up. And then really nice young prospect from Lazio there. One of my favorite Serie B team is Crotone, and they just got promoted. And he actually a couple years ago, I think actually in FIFA 15, I'm pretty sure it's FIFA 15. He actually played for Crotone on loan, and he's a really, really solid player. And you see here, we finally get Tonelli to accept the offer. We put him in on a $70,000 a week, crucial first-team player because that's what he's going to be. And Poli here, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and so honestly, I just left that squad role blank. And so for some players that works, but others it does not. And we'll see in the end what happens with Poli. But as you can see, I'm going through this stuff kind of quick because I'm not trying to bore you guys. I know this is a lot of beginning training and transfers, but I'm really looking forward to the gameplay and stuff that happens as we start moving on. And hopefully, I know that the games are going to be kind of quick considering I only have them on 4-minute halves, but hopefully we'll have enough goals once I get the feel out for the team. And we get a transfer in for Pasquale. I just deemed him surplus. You know, it's one of the things I do at the beginning. I know I didn't touch on it, but I always look at the players on the sell list. And honestly, I think I accessed FIFA 16 Career Mode at a weird time because right now, there should have been a bunch of players out on loan from Fiorentina. Like a ton. A ton of players are loaned in and a ton of players are loaned out. But right now, I think FIFA just got rid of that for some reason. And if anybody knows the reason for that, leave that in the comments below. But it's just a little weird. And we're going to move on here and more training and transfers. Hopefully you guys are sticking with this. We do have a game at the end here, so do not get too fed up. It comes up in about a minute or so. I can leave a little, I'll do a little skip ahead if you guys want to watch like the first couple minutes of transfers, but then I'll leave a link to when it actually starts and a bit below. But you see Arsenal here comes up for Babacar, and they are asking, I'm like, all right, well, I mean, might as well, considering I know there's a lot of other good talent out there at striker that we could buy, and I like Babacar, but I'm not going to pass up 15 million euros, and so you'll see what ends up happening here. They were playing a little coy, but I know if they wanted to get him, they had to come get it, and they accepted. As you can see in that message there, I was baffled. I was a little bit surprised. I did not expect that to happen, but in the end it did. And something that I forgot to do that I usually always do is set up a youth scout. And so you'll see in the next video, I use the money that I get from selling Costa, who was another player that I loved when he played for Valencia. Great Ultimate Team card a couple of years ago, and even now his long shots are amazing if you're looking for a non-rare. But I use the money to buy this little Greek prospect, Pelkas. He plays for Panathinaikos, my bad, PAOK. And so we're going to move on, and we finally get into the first game. But as I was saying, sorry, I just touch on this real quick. We are going to buy a youth scout in the next episode, so look forward to that. So we got our first game against Milan. Showed you what kits we're wearing. We're in the purple kits, and Milan's in the white. I just decided that I like the purple kits the best, and it's honestly the easiest to see. There's no reason that the kits should clash in career mode, so I thought this might be best. And we get a flying start off the kickoff, but they make a good block in there, and so we're going to see what happens off the corner. We get another good look here, but as you can see, just another good save. And I forgot who they had starting in net. I think it was Hugo Lloris, actually. And they come down, and I was a little bit nervous there that they get this. But right before half, we get a nice opportunity. We're going to whip the ball in with Alonso, I'm pretty sure. But he punches it out, but it falls right to our player. And we get a nice long shot, but what a save across the body. Wish that wasn't the case. Too bad. And we move on into halftime. And I'm just going to show you here that nothing really happens, but I'm going to show you the subs I make around the 62nd minute, I'm pretty sure. We make some subs in here. I bring on Ilicic. I like Kalinic over Ilicic to start with, and I'll get more into the squad in the next episode. It's just this episode's been kind of hectic with the transfers, but I wanted to get them out of the way, and I wanted to show you guys that. But Ilicic, the super sub, comes on. Beautiful ball in by Borja. That's what I'm going to be looking at for Valero for this whole season. Just some great passes from the midfield up to the top. And Ilicic is always going to finish that. I'm pretty sure he gets it on his left foot here. We're going to watch the replay just because it's the first goal of the series. And he does get it across. He's the left foot. His left foot is amazing. I can't wait to keep using that, especially on free kicks and not. I'm going to have to find a way to maybe incorporate maybe a 4-1-1 with Kalinic and Ilicic. It's just that they get a little bit slow up top, and you can see we win the game 1-0. We get a chance at the end, but nothing comes of it. Pelkas decides that he's going to sign with us. But the episode's coming to the end. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this series in the comments below. It's Ben Wise FIFA. Stay wise.